You see, Rome was such a great empire with a rich and lengthy history that if I did a full deep dive, the video could be hours long. In the annals of human history, few empires have left a mark as enduring and influential as that of Rome. From its humble beginnings as a small city-state on the banks of the Tiber River, Rome would rise to become the epicenter of a vast and mighty empire that stretched across 3 continents. But like all great powers, the Roman Empire's ascent was not without its trials and tribulations. It was a saga of conquest and expansion, of triumph and tragedy, of heroes and tyrants. Over the centuries, Rome would rise to unparalleled heights of glory, only to face the inexorable march of decline and eventual collapse. Join us on a journey through the corridors of time as we explore the rise and fall of one of history's most iconic civilizations. Before we start, if you happen to enjoy this video and find value in it, I would greatly appreciate it if you left a like so that this video reaches more people. Additionally, if you don't want to miss out on more videos, why not subscribe? That way you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Now let's get into this, shall we? Legend has it that Rome was founded in the 8th century BCE by the mythical figures Romulus and Remus, twin brothers raised by a she-wolf. According to Roman mythology, Romulus and Remus were the sons of the god Mars and the priestess Rhea Silvia. Abandoned at birth, they were discovered and raised by a she-wolf in the wilderness near the Tiber River. While the legendary founding of Rome by Romulus and Remus is the most famous origin story, historians generally view it as a mythological tale rather than historical fact. The true origins of Rome are shrouded in the mists of time, and archaeological evidence suggests a more complex and gradual process of settlement and development. One prevalent theory among historians is that Rome was founded by indigenous peoples of the Italian peninsula, particularly the Latins. The early settlement of Rome likely began as a small agricultural village or cluster of hamlets on the Palatine Hill and surrounding areas in the 8th century BCE. Over time, these settlements grew and coalesced into a more organized urban center. Scholars also point to the influence of neighboring civilizations, such as the Etruscans, who inhabited the region of Etruria to the north of Rome. The Etruscans had a significant impact on early Roman culture, including aspects of architecture, religion, and government. While the identity of the specific individuals or groups responsible for the founding of Rome remains uncertain, it is clear that Rome's origins are rooted in the broader context of ancient Italy and the interactions between various indigenous peoples and neighboring civilizations. The legendary tale of Romulus and Remus serves as a powerful mythological foundation for Rome's identity and cultural heritage, but the historical reality is likely more nuanced and multifaceted. Rome was situated in the region of Latium in central Italy, on the banks of the Tiber River. Its strategic location afforded it access to fertile land for agriculture and facilitated trade and communication with other civilizations in the Mediterranean. Rome began as a monarchy, with Romulus serving as its first king. The early Roman kings were believed to be descendants of the god Mars, and they wielded both religious and political authority. The monarchy was eventually replaced by a republican form of government around 509 BCE, following the overthrow of the last Etruscan king, Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, by a group of nobles led by Lucius Junius Brutus. Rome's early development was shaped by its geographical advantages, as well as its interactions with neighboring civilizations such as the Etruscans and Greeks. The city's strategic location, fertile land, and access to the sea laid the groundwork for its eventual rise to power and dominance in the Mediterranean region. This early period of Rome's history laid the foundation for its future as a major center of civilization and the capital of one of the greatest empires the world has ever known. During its early expansion and unification phase, Rome embarked on a series of conquests and alliances that solidified its dominance in the Italian peninsula. The defeat of the Latin League in the 4th century BCE marked a significant milestone, followed by the gradual annexation of Etruscan territories, notably the conquest of Veii in 396 BCE. Rome formed alliances with neighboring tribes such as the Samnites, initially collaborating against common foes before tensions led to the Samnite Wars. Through a combination of military campaigns, diplomacy, and colonization, Rome extended its control over central and southern Italy, integrating conquered territories through the establishment of colonies and the imposition of Roman law. Strategic alliances with Greek cities in southern Italy provided access to Greek culture and trade routes. Additionally, a treaty with Carthage in 509 BCE laid the groundwork for future interactions. These conquests and alliances showcased Rome's strategic prowess and laid the foundation for its emergence as a dominant power in the Mediterranean. One of the defining moments in Rome's rise was its conflict with the powerful maritime empire of Carthage. Known as the Punic Wars 264–146 BCE, these series of conflicts were fought over control of the Mediterranean and its lucrative trade routes. Rome emerged victorious after a long and grueling struggle, annexing Carthaginian territories in Sicily, Spain, and North Africa, and asserting its dominance over the western Mediterranean. Meanwhile, Rome also expanded its influence beyond the Italian peninsula into Gaul, modern-day France, and Britain. Julius Caesar's conquest of Gaul in the 1st century BCE and subsequent expeditions to Britain laid the groundwork for Roman control over these regions, bringing vast territories and new resources into the growing empire. As Rome expanded, its political and social structures evolved to accommodate the needs of a growing and diverse empire. The Roman Republic, initially governed by a system of checks and balances between the Senate, magistrates, and assemblies, gave way to the autocratic rule of emperors in the 1st century BCE. The transition from republic to empire brought stability and centralized authority, enabling Rome to manage its vast territories more effectively. During its rise, Rome also experienced a golden age of cultural and architectural achievement. The construction of monumental structures such as the Colosseum, the Forum Romanum, and the Pantheon showcased Rome's wealth and power to the world. Literature, philosophy, and the arts flourished, with poets like Virgil and historians like Livy immortalizing the glory of Rome in their works. By the end of the 1st century BCE, Rome had reached its initial peak of power and prosperity, dominating the Mediterranean world and establishing itself as the preeminent civilization of antiquity. This period of expansion and consolidation laid the foundation for Rome's subsequent imperial ambitions and its enduring legacy in world history. At the zenith of its power during the Pax Romana, Rome stood as the unrivaled center of the ancient world, guided by visionary leaders who shaped its destiny and cemented its dominance. Augustus, the first emperor, established a period of stability and centralized rule, laying the foundation for centuries of imperial expansion and prosperity. Under the reigns of Trajan and Hadrian, Rome reached its greatest territorial extent, encompassing vast swaths of Europe, North Africa, and the Near East. Economically, the city thrived as a bustling hub of commerce, with goods flowing in from every corner of the empire and a common currency facilitating trade. The urban landscape of Rome was a testament to its grandeur, adorned with majestic monuments, temples, and public buildings that reflected the wealth and sophistication of its society. Amidst this prosperity, Rome experienced a cultural renaissance, with literature, art, and philosophy flourishing under the patronage of emperors and aristocrats. Life in Rome was marked by a vibrant social scene, with citizens gathering in public spaces to socialize, engage in political discourse, and enjoy entertainment. Yet beneath the facade of opulence, Rome grappled with social inequality, crime, and political intrigue, hinting at the underlying tensions that would eventually contribute to its decline. Nonetheless, Rome at its peak was a beacon of civilization, leaving an enduring legacy that continues to inspire and captivate the world. Hey, real quick, I just wanted to say that if you or someone you know happens to be struggling with alcohol addiction and would like to take the first steps toward recovery, check out our sponsor, Alcohol Free Forever. It is an amazing way to discreetly recover from alcohol abuse and live a life of clarity. There are no awkward meetings or expensive counselors, and if you use the link in the description, you will get a free ebook, which spares no detail on alcohol's harmful effects. Anyway, back to the video. The decline of Rome began subtly with a combination of internal weaknesses and external pressures, gradually undermining the stability and cohesion of the empire. One of the initial signs of decline was the economic strain caused by overexpansion. As Rome stretched its borders to their maximum extent under emperors like Trajan, the logistical and financial burden of maintaining such a vast empire became increasingly unsustainable. The cost of defending distant frontiers, coupled with the need to fund a large standing army, placed immense pressure on the state's finances. This was exacerbated by rampant inflation and a debased currency, which eroded the economic foundation of the empire and led to a decline in trade and agricultural productivity. Simultaneously, political instability and corruption began to plague the Roman government. The succession of emperors became increasingly erratic and often violent, with power frequently changing hands through assassination, civil war, and military coups. The crisis of the 3rd century, 235–284 CE, was a particularly tumultuous period, characterized by rapid turnover of emperors, internal conflicts, and fragmentation of the empire. During this time, Rome faced numerous threats from external enemies, including Germanic tribes and the Persian Empire, further straining its military and resources. Additionally, the growing divide between the wealthy elite and the impoverished masses fostered social unrest and weakened the internal cohesion of Roman society. These cumulative factors marked the beginning of Rome's long and gradual decline, setting the stage for the eventual collapse of the Western Roman Empire in the centuries to come. As Rome entered the middle phase of its decline, the empire faced a cascade of worsening crises that further destabilized its foundations. The economic troubles deepened, with heavy taxation imposed to support the military and bureaucracy, which in turn stifled economic growth and exacerbated poverty. The reliance on slave labor also hampered technological advancement and agricultural innovation, leading to stagnation and inefficiency in production. Additionally, the debasement of currency continued, leading to severe inflation and loss of public confidence in the economic system. Politically, the empire suffered from a lack of effective leadership. The constant power struggles and short reigns of emperors eroded the authority and continuity of governance. The Senate, once a stabilizing force, became increasingly marginalized and corrupt. The division of the empire into the Western and Eastern Roman empires by Emperor Diocletian in 285 CE, while initially a strategic move to improve manageability, ultimately weakened the Western Empire as it faced more immediate threats from barbarian invasions. Externally, the pressure from barbarian tribes intensified. The Huns, Goths, Vandals, and other groups, driven by various factors such as climate change and population movements, began to encroach on Roman territories with increasing frequency and ferocity. The sack of Rome by the Visigoths in 410 CE was a significant psychological blow, signaling that the once invincible empire could be breached. These invasions not only drained Rome's military resources, but also disrupted trade and agriculture, further crippling the economy. The cumulative effect of these internal and external pressures continued to erode the strength and cohesion of the Roman Empire, propelling it further along the path to its eventual collapse. As the Roman Empire moved closer to its end, the cumulative effects of economic decay, political instability, and external invasions accelerated its decline. The Western Roman Empire, in particular, faced insurmountable challenges in the 5th century. The economy was in shambles, burdened by excessive taxation, rampant inflation, and a reliance on a shrinking agricultural base. The debasement of currency had left the empire without a stable economic foundation, and the constant need to pay off barbarian mercenaries further drained the treasury. Politically, the empire was fractured. The power struggles and short reigns of emperors continued, with many emperors being mere puppets controlled by military leaders or influential families. The division between the Eastern and Western Roman empires also proved detrimental, as the wealthier and more stable Eastern Empire, with its capital in Constantinople, became increasingly detached from the troubles of the West. Externally, the invasions by barbarian tribes intensified. The Huns under Attila wreaked havoc across Europe, although they never captured Rome. The pressure from the Huns displaced other tribes such as the Visigoths, Vandals, and Ostrogoths, who moved into Roman territories. The sack of Rome by the Visigoths in 410 CE was a significant blow, but the final collapse was precipitated by the Vandal sack of Rome in 455 CE and the deposition of the last Roman emperor in the West. Romulus Augustulus by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer in 476 CE. The collapse of the Western Roman Empire is often marked by the deposition of Romulus Augustulus in 476 CE, an event symbolizing the end of ancient Rome's political power in the West. Odoacer, a Germanic leader, declared himself ruler of Italy, marking the transition from Roman to barbarian control. This event was not an abrupt fall, but the culmination of a prolonged period of decline. As Roman institutions crumbled, urban centers deteriorated, trade networks broke down, and literacy rates plummeted. The Western Roman Empire fragmented into a patchwork of barbarian kingdoms. In contrast, the Eastern Roman Empire, known as the Byzantine Empire, continued to thrive for nearly another 1,000 years, preserving and transforming Roman legacy. The fall of the Western Roman Empire marked the end of classical antiquity and the beginning of the Middle Ages in Europe, a period characterized by the rise of feudalism, the spread of Christianity, and the gradual formation of medieval European states. The legacy of Rome is vast and enduring, profoundly shaping the course of Western civilization and beyond. Politically, Rome's concepts of republicanism, legal codes, and civic governance have influenced countless modern governments. The Roman legal system, particularly the principles enshrined in the 12 Tables and Justinian's Code, laid the foundation for many contemporary legal systems. Culturally, Rome's contributions to art, architecture, and literature continue to resonate. Roman engineering marvels, such as aqueducts, roads, and monumental structures like the Colosseum and Pantheon, set enduring standards for architectural excellence. Latin, the language of Rome, became the basis for the Romance languages and influenced the vocabulary of many others, including English. Literary works by Virgil, Ovid, and Cicero have inspired writers and thinkers for centuries. In terms of religion, Rome's legacy is profound. The transformation of Christianity from a persecuted sect to the state religion under Emperor Constantine in the 4th century CE ensured its spread throughout Europe and its lasting impact on Western culture and thought. The Roman Catholic Church, headquartered in the Vatican, carries forward Roman traditions and influences billions worldwide. Socially, Roman innovations in public health, urban planning, and infrastructure have left lasting marks. Concepts like public baths, centralized heating, and urban sanitation reflect Rome's advanced understanding of urban living. The fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 CE marked the end of classical antiquity, but also the beginning of a new era, as Roman culture, ideas, and institutions were preserved and transformed by the Byzantine Empire, and later by the medieval European states. Rome's blend of Greek and indigenous traditions created a unique cultural synthesis that became a cornerstone of Western heritage. In essence, the legacy of Rome is one of enduring influence, shaping legal, political, architectural, linguistic, religious, and cultural aspects of the modern world. Its blend of innovation and tradition set the stage for the development of Western civilization, making Rome an eternal symbol of human achievement and resilience.